Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you today with a message of divine purpose and prosperity. There comes a moment in every life when God chooses to reveal His blessings in a tangible way. Today, I stand before you with a word from the Almighty. You have been given a lot of money. Open this on December 15th before 11. My dear friends, this is not just about wealth. It is about God's timing, God's provision, and His perfect plan for your life. Money is a tool, a resource, a seed of opportunity. And God is calling you to recognize it, to honor it, and to steward it wisely. The instructions are clear. There is a specific moment, a specific time when this blessing must be acknowledged, because God's timing is always perfect. As we journey through this message, I want you to prepare your heart, align your mind with God's principles of provision, and embrace the authority He has given you to receive and manage the resources He is entrusting to you. This is a divine moment, and it demands your full attention, your faith, and your readiness to act. Today, I bring to you a message that is both urgent and life-changing. A message directly from the Creator who knows the beginning from the end. God is speaking, and His words are clear. You have been given a lot of money, but there is a specific time when this blessing must be acknowledged. A divine appointment that cannot be missed. On the 15th of December before 11. Understand, my friends, that wealth is not merely about accumulation. It is not just about possessing money or material resources. Wealth is the visible expression of God's favor, the manifestation of His goodness, and the tool by which He accomplishes His purpose on earth. Many people live their lives struggling financially because they do not understand the spiritual laws that govern prosperity. They chase money without recognizing the source, they labor without understanding the season, and they work without discerning God's purpose for their labor. God is not calling you to a random moment. He is calling you to a precise moment. Timing is not merely a human concept. Timing is divine. When God gives a blessing, it is always aligned with His perfect plan. If you open this gift before the appointed time, you may miss the fullness of what God intends to release. But when you align your action with His timing, you step into authority, into wisdom, and into the full manifestation of His promise. Recognize that this wealth is not for indulgence, it is for impact. It is for influence. It is for fulfilling the calling He has placed on your life. You have been entrusted with a responsibility greater than yourself. The money you are about to receive is a seed of opportunity, a catalyst for transformation, and a tool to expand God's kingdom here on earth. Many people see money as a burden, as a source of stress, or as a temptation to compromise their integrity. But when viewed through the lens of divine stewardship, money becomes a servant, a partner, and a vehicle to express your purpose. You are not merely receiving wealth to enjoy comfort. You are receiving wealth to exercise authority, to bring solutions, and to demonstrate God's principles in action. Therefore, approach this moment with wisdom. Do not allow greed, fear, or distraction to cloud your understanding. Prepare your heart, align your mind, and position yourself in obedience. Be ready to open this on the 15th of December before 11. God has orchestrated this moment with precision. He has measured it according to your capacity, your calling, and your readiness. Remember, money is neutral. It is neither good nor evil. It is the use of money that reveals the character of a person. If you manage this blessing with wisdom, humility, and generosity, it will multiply. If mismanaged, it will become a snare. Therefore, approach it with reverence, gratitude, and purpose. Today is the day to recognize that God's favor is not random, His blessings are not haphazard, and His timing is perfect. Stand firm in faith. Understand the responsibility and embrace the power that comes with this provision. You are about to enter a season of financial increase, a season of strategic opportunities, and a season of divine favor. God has chosen you for this moment, not because of your merit alone, but because of His plan, His vision, and His desire to see His principles demonstrated through your life. Prepare to receive, prepare to act, and prepare to honor the God who gives abundantly. Align yourself with His purpose, steward this blessing with wisdom, and understand that this is more than money. This is a mandate to advance, influence, and fulfill your destiny on earth. God's provision is not random, and wealth is never accidental. Everything in life has a principle, and the principles of prosperity are rooted in the spiritual laws of the kingdom. When God gives, He gives according to purpose, according to responsibility, and according to divine timing. Many people live their lives chasing money without understanding these principles. They work tirelessly, yet they find themselves empty, frustrated, and disillusioned because they have failed to recognize that money is more than currency. It is a tool of influence, a vehicle of vision, and an instrument through which God accomplishes His will on earth. When God has declared that you have been given a lot of money, it is not simply to enjoy comfort or personal indulgence. No, it is far greater than that. It is to fulfill a calling, to create opportunities, to advance His purpose through you. Every gift, every blessing, every financial increase comes with a responsibility. The responsibility is not only to manage it wisely, but to honor the one who provides it. And this responsibility begins with understanding the spiritual law of timing. God has set a precise moment for this blessing to be acknowledged. December 15th before 11. Obedience to this timing is not negotiable. The timing is designed to maximize the potential of the blessing, to align your actions with His favor, and to ensure that the increase is not wasted. Understand that money without purpose can become a burden. Money without stewardship can become a snare. Money without principle can lead to ruin. That is why God's timing, God's instruction, and God's provision are inseparable. When you receive this blessing at the appointed time, you are stepping into authority. You are stepping into wisdom. You are stepping into alignment with God's design for your life. Do not underestimate the power of obedience. Obedience is the pathway to multiplication. Obedience is the gateway to favor. Obedience is the manifestation of faith. Your willingness to follow God's instruction precisely demonstrates your readiness to handle the resources He entrusts to you. Wealth is not merely about accumulation, it is about impact. It is about influence. It is about extending the reach of God's kingdom through your actions. Those who understand this principle manage money differently. They invest not only for personal gain, but for strategic advancement. They give not only out of obligation, but out of purpose. They create opportunities, provide solutions, and demonstrate leadership in alignment with divine principles. Recognize that this provision is a test of your character. It is a revelation of your priorities. It is an invitation to operate in wisdom and to think beyond the immediate, beyond comfort, beyond self-interest. God is entrusting you with a resource that has power, potential, and purpose. How you respond will determine the trajectory of your life and the impact of your destiny. Align your mind with God's principles. Understand the responsibility. Embrace the accountability. Prepare to receive the blessing at the appointed time. Guard your heart against fear, distraction, and greed. Embrace humility, integrity, and diligence. Let your actions reflect the wisdom, the character, and the faithfulness required to steward such a provision. God has given not just money, but opportunity. Not just currency, but authority. Not just wealth, but a mandate. Recognize the magnitude of this moment. Recognize that the spiritual laws governing wealth are designed for your success, for your influence, and for your ability to bring transformation wherever you operate. Today, as you prepare for December 15th before 11, position yourself to receive with gratitude, obedience, and vision. Understand that this moment is more than financial. It is spiritual, strategic, and purposeful. Step into it with readiness. Align your actions with divine principles and allow the blessing to manifest in its fullness according to God's perfect plan. Approach this blessing with humility and wisdom, for the way in which you handle wealth reveals the depth of your character and the level of your spiritual maturity. Money, though seemingly simple in its physical form, carries with it great responsibility. It is a tool, a resource, and a reflection of your values. Many people view money as an end in itself, but God teaches us that it is a means to an end. a means to fulfill purpose, influence lives, and bring transformation. When God has directed you to receive this financial blessing, it is not merely for personal indulgence or comfort. It is a divine instrument for impact. Wisdom is required because the enemy often seeks to distort blessings, turning opportunities into traps, abundance into arrogance, and provision into pride. Humility allows you to recognize that this blessing is not by your might or merit, but by God's grace, favor, and perfect timing. Wisdom allows you to navigate the decisions that follow, ensuring that every resource is allocated according to divine principle, maximizing its effectiveness and honoring the one who provides. Mismanagement of wealth is one of the greatest pitfalls for those who suddenly receive abundance. People have been given vast resources only to lose them because they fail to understand stewardship, discipline, and strategic allocation. God does not give wealth as a test of how clever or opportunistic you can be. He gives it as a measure of your ability to handle responsibility, to exercise discernment, and to extend influence in alignment with His purposes. When you receive this gift on December 15th before 11, consider it a sacred opportunity to exercise authority over resources in a way that promotes growth, stability, and purpose. Every decision you make regarding this money should reflect your understanding that you are not just managing currency, but managing opportunity, legacy, and kingdom impact. Understand that generosity is part of stewardship. Those who hoard blessings, who consume without sharing, or who use wealth solely for personal gain miss the greater purpose of provision. True prosperity is measured not by accumulation, but by the positive change it enables in your life and in the lives of others. Approach the blessing with a spirit of discernment, a mind focused on vision, and a heart prepared for responsibility. Avoid impulsive decisions. Avoid chasing fleeting desires and avoid being swayed by emotion or peer pressure. Align every action with principle, with strategy, and with purpose. God's timing is perfect, and His guidance ensures that your obedience brings multiplication, not loss. Wealth, when managed properly, unlocks doors that would otherwise remain closed. It enables you to influence systems, to create opportunities, and to leave a lasting legacy. But this requires wisdom, humility, and careful planning. Reflect on your values, clarify your priorities, and prepare a plan that aligns with divine instruction. The blessing you are about to receive is both an honor and a responsibility. It is a test of your character, a measure of your readiness, and a reflection of your understanding of God's principles. Those who approach wealth with arrogance, selfishness, or ignorance often find it fleeting. Those who approach it with humility, diligence, and wisdom often find it multiplying, opening new avenues of influence and opportunity. Therefore, as December 15 before 11:000 approaches, position yourself mentally, spiritually, and practically. Study the principles of stewardship. Embrace the mindset of a wise manager and allow your actions to reflect integrity, foresight, and strategic thinking. Remember, money is not merely a possession, it is a mandate. It is a resource that requires insight, discipline, and purpose-driven action. Receive it with gratitude, honor it with obedience, and utilize it for impact. This is more than a financial moment. It is a defining moment for your character, your legacy, and your capacity to influence the world around you in alignment with God's divine plan. Prepare your heart and mind to receive at the appointed time, for this is more than a financial blessing. It is a divine appointment, a moment of destiny, and a confirmation of God's favor in your life. Many people go through life unaware of the significance of timing and readiness. They may have received opportunities before, only to miss the fullness because their hearts were unprepared, their minds unfocused, or their spirits distracted. God's instruction to open this on December 15 before 11 is deliberate, precise, and filled with purpose. It is a test of your faith, a measure of your obedience, and a declaration that you are ready to operate in alignment with His will. To prepare, you must first cultivate clarity of purpose. Understand why this blessing is coming to you, not merely for personal gain, but for the fulfillment of your calling, the advancement of your influence, and the manifestation of your vision. The money is a tool, a resource, and a means to accomplish greater works. Without clarity, it can become a source of confusion, distraction, or mismanagement. Secondly, prepare your mind to think strategically. Wealth, when received without planning or foresight, can dissipate quickly. It is essential to anticipate how to use it effectively, how to allocate it responsibly, and how to maximize its potential for impact. Strategy ensures that the blessing does not end with momentary satisfaction, but multiplies into lasting significance. Thirdly, prepare your spirit to remain humble and teachable. No blessing, no matter how great, should inflate your ego or create arrogance. God's favor is never separated from wisdom and humility. Those who embrace wealth without humility often fall prey to temptation, misjudgment, and pride. A humble heart recognizes that all provision comes from God and that with great blessing comes great responsibility. Fourthly, prepare your actions to reflect obedience. Timing is critical. To receive the full manifestation of God's provision, you must follow His instruction precisely. Acting prematurely or delaying action can diminish the impact of the blessing, while obedience unlocks the door to multiplication, favor, and divine alignment. Fifthly, prepare to steward this blessing with integrity. Stewardship is not merely about managing finances. It is about demonstrating character, responsibility, and a vision for impact. Your choices in handling this money will reflect your understanding of God's principles and your ability to operate as a conduit of purpose. Sixthly, prepare your vision to expand beyond yourself. The money you are about to receive is a seed of opportunity, a catalyst for influence, and a resource to effect transformation. Think not only about what it can do for you, but about what it can accomplish through you. Let your vision encompass possibilities that honor God, uplift others, and leave a lasting legacy. Seventhly, prepare your faith to trust in the unseen. You may not fully understand the magnitude of what is coming, but faith allows you to act in alignment with God's promise. Faith bridges the gap between divine instruction and tangible manifestation. Without faith, blessings can be delayed, overlooked, or underutilized. Finally, prepare your gratitude to receive with joy. Gratitude acknowledges the source, honors the giver, and positions you to experience fulfillment. A grateful heart amplifies the blessing, opens the door to more, and aligns your life with the principles of abundance, generosity, and divine favor. December 15th before 11 is not just a date and a time. It is a moment designed for impact, influence, and manifestation. It is a divine window through which God releases not just resources, but opportunity, authority, and purpose. Approach it with readiness. Align your thoughts with wisdom. Condition your actions with obedience and open your heart to the fullness of God's provision. This is your appointed time. This is your moment of destiny. Prepare yourself completely, spiritually, mentally, and practically to receive, to steward, and to act in alignment with the plan that God has designed specifically for you. When you do, you will not only receive the blessing, but you will understand its purpose, magnify its impact, and demonstrate the principles of divine prosperity in action. Today, I bring to you a message of divine provision and purpose, a message that demands your attention, your faith, and your readiness. God is speaking to you directly, declaring, you have been given a lot of money. Open this on December 15 before 11. This is not a casual instruction. It is not a suggestion. It is a divine appointment, a moment orchestrated by God Himself to align your life with His perfect plan. Understand this. Wealth is more than currency. It is the visible expression of God's favor, the tool for influence, and the instrument for fulfilling your purpose on earth. Many people struggle financially not because they lack opportunity, but because they fail to recognize the spiritual laws that govern provision. They chase wealth without understanding its source. They labor without discerning God's timing, and they accumulate without knowing its purpose. God's timing is perfect. The instruction to open this on December 15th before 11 is deliberate. It is designed to maximize the blessing, to align your obedience with His favor, and to ensure that what is released to you fulfills its intended purpose. Acting prematurely or delaying may hinder the fullness of what God wants to release. Therefore, preparation is critical. Prepare your heart, your mind, and your spirit. Prepare to receive with humility, wisdom, and gratitude. Recognize that this provision carries responsibility. It is not just for personal comfort. It is a mandate for impact, influence, and legacy. Wealth, when managed correctly, becomes a servant. It enables you to solve problems, create opportunities, and advance God's purposes. Mismanaged, it becomes a burden, a source of stress, or a trap. The principles of stewardship, discipline, and strategic planning are essential. Approach this blessing with a mindset that sees beyond the immediate. Think in terms of legacy, in terms of influence, in terms of fulfilling your divine calling. Obedience to God's instruction demonstrates faith. Faith bridges the gap between promise and manifestation. Timing, humility, wisdom, and generosity position you to receive the full impact of God's provision. Recognize that this moment is more than financial. It is spiritual, practical, and transformative. The money you are about to receive is a seed of opportunity, a catalyst for purpose, and a tool for the fulfillment of your destiny. As December 15 approaches, commit yourself to readiness. Guard your heart against greed, distraction, and impatience. Align your actions with God's instructions. Steward this blessing wisely, honor it with integrity, and extend its impact beyond yourself. This is your appointed moment, a divine window for increase, influence, and manifestation. Step into it with faith. Prepare to act with wisdom and embrace the fullness of God's provision. This is not just about money. This is about recognizing God's favor, understanding His timing, and positioning yourself to operate in alignment with His will. Receive it with gratitude, manage it with wisdom, use it with purpose. When you do, you will not only experience financial increase, but you will walk in authority, influence, and fulfillment according to God's perfect plan. Use this provision to extend influence, create opportunities, and leave a lasting legacy. Understand that the money you are about to receive is not just a resource for immediate use. It is a strategic instrument for impact, a divine tool to advance your purpose, and a tangible expression of God's favor in your life. True prosperity is measured not by the accumulation of wealth, but by the difference it enables you to make in the lives of others, in your community, and in alignment with God's principles. Those who receive blessings without vision often squander them, allowing opportunities to fade and leaving potential unrealized. But those who understand the principles of stewardship recognize that every resource is a seed that, when planted with intention, grows into influence, opportunity, and legacy. Your responsibility is not only to manage the money wisely, but also to envision its impact beyond yourself. Ask yourself, how can this blessing create opportunities for others? How can it empower someone, solve a problem, or advance a purpose that aligns with divine principles? God entrusts resources to those who are ready to think beyond themselves, who see wealth as a means to express leadership, generosity, and vision. Do not be limited by immediate gratification or personal desires. Expand your thinking to include strategic long-term impact. This is the mindset of leadership, the mindset of purpose-driven prosperity. Recognize that every financial blessing carries with it authority, the authority to influence, to create solutions, and to leave a mark on the world. Money is not neutral. It amplifies character, Those who operate in integrity, wisdom, and humility multiply the impact of their resources. Those who act in ignorance, pride, or selfishness diminish not only the blessing but also the potential for legacy. Your provision is an opportunity to demonstrate principles that transcend wealth, principles of vision, of stewardship, of generosity, and of impact. By using it strategically, you communicate your understanding of divine purpose, your alignment with God's plan, and your readiness to operate as a leader in every sphere of life. Legacy is not about what you accumulate for yourself. It is about what you create, influence, and leave behind for others. It is the reflection of your stewardship, the evidence of your wisdom, and the demonstration of your faithfulness. Every decision you make regarding this money should consider the broader picture, the lives it touches, the opportunities it creates, and the systems it can transform. True influence is measured by the positive change you enable in the world, and your provision is a catalyst for that transformation. Prepare to act with intentionality, clarity, and purpose. Align your decisions with vision, strategy, and divine principle. Avoid impulsiveness, avoid selfish motives, and avoid short-sighted thinking. Instead, embrace long-term impact, sustainability, and the creation of opportunities that multiply beyond what you see today. Generosity is a key component of legacy. Those who give wisely, invest in growth, and use resources to lift others demonstrate a heart aligned with divine purpose. Money, when used as a tool for influence, creates networks of impact, opportunities for leadership, and pathways for transformation. Remember, the resources you are about to receive are not only for personal comfort, they are a mandate to exercise authority, to create influence, and to leave an indelible mark. When you understand this principle, you will not see money as an end in itself, but as a means to manifest vision, leadership, and purpose. This is the essence of true prosperity, using what you have been given to empower others, to create opportunities, and to leave a lasting legacy. Your actions today in receiving, stewarding, and deploying this provision will define the trajectory of your influence, the depth of your impact, and the legacy you leave for generations to come. Approach it with clarity, faith, and wisdom. Use it strategically, think expansively, and act responsibly. In doing so, you will not only experience financial increase, but you will demonstrate the principles of leadership, stewardship, and divine purpose in action, creating a legacy that endures long after the moment has passed. Recognize that this blessing is part of God's greater plan for your life. It is not simply an isolated moment of financial gain. It is a stepping stone, a strategic provision, and a confirmation of divine favor that aligns with your destiny. God does not give without purpose, and He does not bless without intention. Every resource, every increase, and every opportunity is designed to advance your calling, to develop your leadership, and to position you to fulfill the plan He has set before you. Many people receive blessings and fail to see them as part of a bigger picture. They treat them as ends rather than means, and in doing so, they limit the impact, the growth, and the potential that was intended to flow through them. This provision is a tool to cultivate leadership, to expand vision, and to create pathways that will allow you to accomplish tasks far beyond your immediate understanding. Understand that God measures blessings according to purpose, not desire. The resources He entrusts to you are calibrated to your capacity, your calling, and your readiness. They are not random, nor are they coincidental. They are deliberate, calculated, and full of opportunity to advance you into the fullness of what He has prepared for your life. As you receive this blessing on December 15th before 11, do so with the mindset of a leader. Leaders think in terms of long-term vision, impact, and strategic influence. Leaders understand that resources are given not only for personal benefit, but to create systems of influence that multiply. Leaders steward with integrity, plan with foresight, and act with purpose. This is the opportunity for you to step into a higher level of responsibility, a greater sphere of influence, and a deeper understanding of your role in God's plan. Every action you take with this provision should be intentional, reflecting strategic thinking and alignment with divine principles. Avoid short-term thinking, impulsive decisions, or purely personal indulgence. Instead, embrace the mindset of vision, growth, and legacy. The money, the resources, and the increase you are about to receive are instruments to build systems, empower people, and create lasting impact. They are seeds of opportunity, catalysts for purpose, and tools for leadership development. By using them wisely, you demonstrate that you are not only ready to receive more, but that you are capable of handling greater responsibility, more complex opportunities, and expanded influence. Understand that your blessing is part of a divine sequence. Each step in your journey, each opportunity, and each increase is designed to prepare you for the next level of authority and influence. God's plan is cumulative. It builds upon each act of obedience, each demonstration of wisdom, and each expression of stewardship. When you recognize this blessing as part of the bigger picture, you will approach it differently. You will not squander it. You will not underestimate its significance. You will plan, act, and manage it with intention, foresight, and strategic purpose. True fulfillment comes not from the money itself, but from understanding the role it plays in your growth, leadership, and legacy. You are being positioned for a season of exponential increase, not just financially, but in wisdom, influence, and impact. This blaze. Sing is a stepping stone to greater opportunities, more complex challenges, and the fulfillment of your destiny. Your readiness to act, your ability to steward, and your vision for the use of this provision will determine how far this blessing will take you. Approach it with gratitude, humility, and strategic thinking. Align every decision with purpose, integrity, and long-term impact. Recognize that God's favor is intertwined with responsibility, and that each blessing is an invitation to step deeper into leadership, growth, and destiny. This is not the end. It is a preparation for more, a demonstration of readiness, and a validation of God's plan for your life. Step into this moment fully aware that your actions will define not just the outcome of this blessing, but the trajectory of your life, the scope of your influence, and the legacy you leave behind. Receive it with wisdom, act with intention, and use it as a tool to fulfill the purpose and calling for which God has uniquely positioned you.